Give it up for Bill DiPaola.
Thank you. Franz, really appreciate that very, very much. All right, y'all, saddle up, because I've got a few things I'm going to tell you. A, I'm a real high-energy guy. I got a sailor's mouth and an immigrant's mind, so I'm going to tell you like it is, and that's how it goes. So let's start with this, all right? I can tell you one thing for certain. I have no idea why you are here. But I can tell you this. If what I say and anyone else in this room says does not make you move and do something, you wasted your time, you wasted your money, thank you, good day. It's done. Don't do it. You all are here for a reason, and I'm going to do the best I can to put some action in that body. Okay? So I'm going to start like this. This is how I start every single one of my restaurants when we're starting off, when we're kicking things out, and we're going to start putting out food and taking care of guests. We start it like this because this is the only way we start, this is the only way we finish. One band, one sound. I say one band, you say one sound. One band? One sound. One band? One sound. That's the only way it goes. That's how we do this. We put smiles on people's faces. I got to tell you, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But it is, if it's your mindset. So, starting from, let's see, how bad was it? This bad. Actually, this bad. So, if I may, my father's born and raised in Sicily. My mother's born and raised in Guatemala City. I had immigrant parents. And they did not exactly save up for college. So as my father's business starts taking off, things are going great, and then we have some struggles. Pete, my older brother, starts going to college, and then he's got to drop out because we can't afford it. And I'm like, man, I'm going to college. I'm going to college. So I get my parents all ginned up, and they pay for college. They start my freshman year. I'm in the dorms. Everything's going great. I pledge a frat. I'm doing all this stuff. It's great, right? And then the bills come in, and that did not go so well. So when they told me, you're just going to have to stop, unfortunately, I'm too thick-headed for that. So what I said was, okay, I'm taking out every student loan I can. And I was able to afford tuition, and I'm ready to go. Holy crap, I forgot about room and board. So guess what was room and board? See the aforementioned, things started out pretty bad. Yeah, that is a 1986 Honda CRX SI, pinky up. And I slept in it. I slept in it for 2 years. Okay? You cannot sleep, incidentally, in the driver's side. That is a bad place to be. You got pedals and you got stick shift. That's not working for you at all. All right? So I got a -5-degree sleeping bag. I slept in the passenger side, and what I'd do is I'd borrow all the points from all my rich friends who had it on their little cards, and I'd go to the RA and I'd get all kinds of canned goods, and I'd stuff them into the little wells where the seat and the back end kind of humps up a little bit, the little space there. I had one side for my food and the other side for my clothes, and everything in the back was the nice stereo system that I bought for it in high school. Nice. But that's where I slept for 2 years. And when it was too cold to sleep in the car, what I used to do is, right around that area is a place called Earl Hall, and I used to climb the tree in the back in order to get to the 3rd floor in order to sneak into the window so the RAs wouldn't see me and I'd sleep on their floors. You want to know a bad day? When your friends kick you out of that room because your feet smell too bad because you haven't gotten a chance to shower. That's a bad day. But you learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself when you are at the very bottom. Kenny, you know exactly what I'm talking about when you're at the very bottom. And I sat there and I thought, what am I doing? What am I going to do? That's okay, I don't sweat that stuff. What are you going to do? Well, I thought, what matters most to me? And what matters most to me is exactly like Franz was talking about. I wanted to be the best I could be for everyone else around me so they never, ever go through what I went through in that car. Never. So I said, hell no, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to find it in me. So how I found it in me was I dug in deep, I did 50 hours worth a week of work, and then I went full-time for school, graduated finally my senior year, I could afford a place to live, and I springboarded everything out through there. And I finally started moving on and moving up and moving up and moving up and going into restaurants and working at the absolute bottom, working my way back up. When I was with Ruth's Chris, I was with Ruth's Chris in Manhattan, and I'm doing all great kinds of things, and all of a sudden I come into New Orleans, because I married a New Orleans girl. I'm born and raised in the Bronx. I don't know if you all know this, but you marry a girl from New Orleans, you're asking to live in New Orleans. That's kind of how it goes. So I like to say we compromised and did what she said. That's pretty much how that worked. So I get here and I have to be a server and part-time dishwasher. I can't be in management because they don't have a space for me. I don't care. I will not lose, ever. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So I get in that kitchen, I'm cleaning dishes, I'm waiting tables, and then I got my shot, got back into management. Moved up from management there, was assistant GM, moved from another restaurant, went to Dickey, moved up to GM, moved to another restaurant to GM. I moved every place I needed to do in order to go up and up and up, and then I got my teeth kicked in by something else, and then I had to move up beyond that, and now you see this. Some hot dog selling, Hawaiian shirt wearing guy. But that's... And that is where this comes in, because I learned something. As much as I wanted to do, as much as I wanted to work, I was working so hard, and all I figured out was I can work hard, but I didn't realize how hard I could make it for myself by just working hard for myself. And I took a lot of my ego that I had out, and that was the part where I started to win. Because I said there's no greater light that shines on me, on you, or on any of you. You can never shine a light bright enough in yourself to outpace the light that you turn on in others that reflects back on you. Mark my words. The light that you turn on in others will always reflect back on you brighter than any light you can shine in yourself. And that is what I do every day. I don't, this will come as a surprise to nobody who has a boss, I don't do anything. I don't. What I do is I coordinate. I allow others who inspire me with the greatness that they have every day. And if I wanted to bring one of my employees, girl Victoria Verhagen, my director of community outreach, I wanted to bring her so bad because you have no idea how much pride I have in this little girl that went from I had her go from where she was working in my kitchens as a line cook. I put her in my training program, developed her as a key employee, put her as a manager, took her from manager, put her in my office. She's a SCAD grad, Savannah College of Art and Design. Graduates from that, and she's got a ton of skills, but never been a marketer before. But I needed somebody who was going to organize my marketing, and I knew she could do it because I saw the work she did in the stores. So I brought her into my office, and I'm working side by side, spending a ton of time, ton of energy. And the first day she tells me, just so you know, I never want to be in front of a camera. Wait a minute, I just put a person who's going to be my director of marketing and they don't want to be in front of a camera or do an interview. Oh shit. That's a bad point. Okay, wait a minute. So I start working with her and all of a sudden I start working through why. And she starts organizing and she does everything just like she said. I'm not going to be in front of that camera, but all that back work she did, all of her organization, unbelievable. And she made it an absolute powerhouse. I got 20,000 followers on Facebook and she did it. I didn't do it. She just knew how. All I did was pave the road and smooth the path. For these guys, they are completely insane and likely high, but they're awesome. That's Taylor, that's Shelby, and that's Al. Let me tell you something about these guys and why it is that I love my team. I want to go to Bonnaroo, and we end up at Bonnaroo this year. These people actually submitted themselves to living in a tent for a week in a sun shower. That's all they had, a shower in a field. They had almost nothing to go off of other than they loved Dat Dog, and they asked to do it again. I'm like, that is what inspires me to work. And so what inspires me is trying to find this. How do you grow a team dynamic? I work hard to earn the talents of the people that I work with every day, and mark my words, no one works for me. Does your check go home to you? Because if it goes home to you, you work for yourself. But they work with me. No one works for me. We work with each other. We do this with each other. And I found all the talent that I needed in the four walls of my business. That's why the vast majority of the people that are in my corporate office are millennials, and most of them came from my business. My director of marketing and brand management, my director of community engagement and digital communication, my director of training, my director of operations. They're all people that have come from my business, and they know my business. And they are stakeholders in that business, because growing that team means having them challenge your ideas. No surprise, sometimes your boss's ideas suck. And mine definitely fall in that category a lot. But if you don't create an avenue for your people to be able to look at you and say, dude, that's so stupid. Like, we can't do that. That's totally off-brand. You end up making decisions that are always going to be the wrong decisions. Because the people who know the problem best, they're probably about 20 feet away from the problem. That's probably the best place to get your answers. Certainly, if nothing else, you get there to get the perspective. Because if you know anything about how your team really functions, they are the ones that grow it. They are the grass. The people up at the top, I don't make any money. I don't make money. They're the ones who make the money. The ones who are putting out the hot dogs, the ones who are making the beers and the drinks, and the ones who are in the kitchen cleaning and sweeping and doing dishes. They make the money. I don't make the money. I spend the money. They make the money. So having respect for that and having respect for the ideas that they give, that's where you get buy-in and tie-in. Because if you don't, what you're going to get is agreement. And agreement versus alignment is a very real principle. Agreement is a whole bunch of people in a room where they're all going, yeah, that sounds like a really great idea. Jesus, I wonder who the hell is going to do that one. Alignment is, okay, I got you. What do I have to do to put myself in there? I'm going to get that done. What's my part, boss? What's my part, coach? Where am I going? You don't have alignment in a room, you're not going anywhere. And I buy alignment by buying their input and allowing my team to challenge me because I'm not always right and no one ever is. Why would you hire smart people to tell them what to do? That's stupid. Hire smart people and let them tell you what they think we should do. They might not always be right either, but when you take down walls, and I've got no walls in my office, my door never locks. In fact, I actually broke the key in the lock. I was really drunk, but I did. It's actually true. And so the door doesn't lock, and I don't care because I don't need a door that locks. I need a door that swings open and people can walk in, and these guys can go, hey, dude, that's stupid. Because if you shut that avenue off, you have shut off everything good about your business, and you get from them, you get that moment of, oh, wait, this is what's going to solve it. So number one is giving them the ability to challenge you. Okay? You've got to trust them too. I'm sending them out into a field in Tennessee. I've got to trust that they're going to do the job, and the only way you develop that trust is by spending time, looking them in the eye, and make sure that you hear me very, very clearly on this. You want to buy trust? You want to earn trust from somebody? Every single thought in your mind, every word out of your mouth, and every action you take for everyone you look at, you make sure that the end result is you want that person's best interest served. Simple as that. Positive thoughts in your mind, positive words in your mouth, positive actions in your body. That is the way you earn trust from somebody. You put it in every single thing you do, and you never backslide. You never backslide, because it's so easy to say that in the good times. True leadership is always able to withstand the slings and arrows of somebody else's mistakes as they learn. That is how you get trust from your team. You've got to be there to shield them when things go wrong. I take slings and arrows all the time from the mistakes that they make, but if I don't protect them and allow them that moment, they're never going to be able to get that time to incubate and grow. And I can tell you right now, I'm running a business that I'm about to expand nationwide and further off of 20-year-old people who are so diverse, who are so smart, and just needed somebody to do what I do. Pave the road and smooth the path. I don't walk down the road for anybody, but I do pave that road, and I pave it pretty well. But you got to walk down that road. I can't do it for anybody. Accepting the flow of that culture, because every day it can be different. That guy, Al, with the beard. Okay, so normally we, at the Magazine Street location anyway, when somebody puts a tip in the tip jar, somebody yell out, tip, tip, and everybody goes, hooray, and that's about it, right? Tip, tip, hooray, and everybody loves to put tips in the jar because I love tip, tip, hooray, I love that. Ferret, we don't even do that. At Frenchman, we actually have a gong behind the bar, and when somebody tips, they bang the gong and everybody screams like lunatics. I have no idea why they do it. That's what they wanted to do. Great, go ahead, do it. But I'm not sitting there pre-programming, welcome to Moe's. I'm not programming them to do that. I'm not, happy birthday, we hope you, no one wants that pre-program. Hi, my name is Bill. I'm going to be your flavor ambassador today. Would you like me to tour guide you through the menu? No one speaks like that. That's not human. Al, one day I come walking in, and again, remind yourself, normally it's tip, tip, hooray. I'm walking by him, and somebody drops a tip in the jar, and everybody just tip, tip, hooray. Al just yells, I am your weenie genie. I will grant you your wish. I'm like, okay, sure. And I went up to my office. I'm like, good job. Good on you. Holy crap. We're going to get a letter for that. But they got to play and express themselves. The Hawaiian shirt, that's our uniform. But I don't tell them what Hawaiian shirt to wear. I had one of my employees come walking in dressed as Glenn Stefani, not Gwen, Glenn Stefani. He is in full Gwen Stefani costume, Hawaiian shirt on. And he was doing like handstands on the bar. I mean, it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. There was one, my favorite was I saw one of my employees actually come in, totally white t-shirt, and he just wrote with a Sharpie, Hawaiian shirt on it. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's a Dat Dogger. It's got to be give and take, ebb and flow. I don't care if my employees, I got my director of HR's hair is purple. They've got gauges and nose rings and tattoos. I don't give a damn. You could come in and be green for all I care. Hey, nice green. Hopefully it's 2-lane green. No, just kidding. So, I look at it, okay, I don't care. You know what it is? It's a meritocracy. That's the flow of the culture. I want to see you come in and do you. You add to it. You, the individual employee, you matter. Your contribution matters. Because if you're not there, it's not getting done. We're not going to hear about the weenie genie, and I'm going to be pretty depressed. Can't even believe I just said that at a conference. Shit. But that's the truth. That's what my people bring. And it's because I give them the opportunity. And they're going to fail. It's going to happen. I'm going to fail. But as I said before, I will not lose ever. You either win or you learn. Simple as that. It is all about mental domination. And if you don't give yourself those opportunities to mentally dominate every situation you're in, you will not empower your employees to be leaders themselves. They need to have strength. These are people whom are filling in positions they may or may not have ever done before. Even the best of the best may not know your culture when they come in. You've got to empower them to lead. And empowering them means that you allow them the opportunity to fail because not the only ingredient, but the main ingredient to success will always and forever be failure. Always. If you do not understand that, you do not understand the nature of success because you must react. Your reaction is what determines the course of your life. Life is not about the shit that happens to you. It's about what you do about that shit that happens to you. That is what determines the course and charter of your life. Simple and plain. So make it a mindset. Positive words in your mouth, positive actions in your body, positive thoughts in your mind. Every word you speak, you're out for the best for somebody else. That's how you empower them to lead because they take that same thing down. They take it to everyone else that they see. And it spreads. So ask yourself this question. Who is the engine for your culture? If you think that it is you in a leadership role, you might be right with the right perspective. But you got to ask yourself who that engine really is. Because if your leadership is servant leadership, I think you're on the right track. That's just my humble opinion. But if it's out where it's me, God, and you no argue, I dictate down to you all that need to know all the wisdom that I have, you're not going to be in business long. Not in my opinion. Who is the engine? My engine, like I said, comes from that grill. And one of the biggest points of pride that I have was that franchisee that's taken up Baton Rouge right now, loves the concept, bought in, great, goes, man, I really need somebody who's going to run that thing. Who do you got? You got anybody you think? Well, 3 years ago, I'm coming into my restaurant on Magazine Street and I see this little kid, Connor Grant. Connor, he's got glasses, he's got a Pikachu hat, he's got this yellow Hawaiian shirt on, and I used to make fun of him too because after a while of working, because he was working grills so much, I started to see it was yellow here and started to get gray down here because that's where he's near the grill. And I'm like, Connor, dude, we got to get a new shirt. And he's like, I got it, boss, I got it. So Connor listens to me, goes through the key employee training program, becomes a key employee, becomes a manager, becomes a kitchen manager, becomes a training and scheduling manager, becomes a general manager, moves up to my corporate office. He's got a finance degree from Loyola, helps me put together my finances and getting my books in line. That guy, 3 years ago, goes from the grill to being the operating principal that is going to operate my stores here in Baton Rouge. I cannot tell you how incredible a feeling that is. To know that I found an engine and I was responsible for paving the road and smoothing the path for him to walk down to do what he never even thought he could, but had it in him all along. That is a great, great day. Who is the engine and what fuel do you feed them? Do they get lit up by your energy? Because the second that I stood up and walked here, I gotta tell you, there's only one thing in my mind, and it's the same thing that happened when I was working at Roos, when I was working with Dickie. Actually, Dickie's a really great example of this. It's my room. Once I walk in here, once I'm here, it's my energy. It's my room. I am going to allow everyone else to understand who I am through the energy that I am going to create. That is the fuel that ignites others to get going, get that move on them, because it's so possible if you invest all those things I just talked about before, empowering people, putting those positive thoughts in your mind, telling them they can do it, protecting them when they fail, giving them the opportunity to succeed. That's the fuel that makes everybody start driving and driving and driving because they're committed to you, because you're committed to them, and it takes a ton of energy. A lot of energy and a lot of time that I take away from my family. But I'll tell you something. It's one of the greatest things I ever done. And that's my company. I hope to God you heard something, because I want to make sure you understand how to take this and fuel it so you have action points. Positive words, positive actions, positive thoughts. Empower people. Love y'all.